All right, welcome back to another segment here of Will It Live Again, and we're working on the tourist camp stove again. Let's take a few minutes here and put the burner assembly back together just so that we make a little progress on making pretty happen. All right, we'll flip the camera around and get going. All right, back at the workbench here. I'm going to gather up some of my painted parts. Let's see, beforehand, let's wrap this up part here. So there's the case of the stove sitting on the last of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sides that you have to sit it in because I can't fit the whole thing in the bath at the same time. So it's sitting there. I got one more day of soaking that side that's down, and then we'll be able to pull that out, start cleaning it up. And let's get our burner manifold, I guess you could call it, back over here. And then let me get you set up in the tripod so I can put this thing back together. There we go. All right, got our manifold here. Gonna need those 2 burner covers. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here. Need my 2 asbestos gaskets that I'm not supposed to sniff. And let's see, we're gonna need this thing, the 2nd burner flame control handle. I don't think I showed this on the last video, but I sprayed this polished brass part here with some of that clear flame-proof paint. I just want to preserve that finish instead of having it tarnishing again and eventually not looking good. And I just like to do stuff like that because I'm not after making a stove that I will use very much here. I do want it to be usable, but I'm not going to use these really old stoves because A, I don't go camping a lot. I just like the stoves, and B, I've got like 50 stoves sitting around, so might as well use some of the more common stuff. But that's all right. Get this one untaped. There, doesn't that make a cool looking part to go on our nice antique stove? All right. Some really important video of me showing you how to wad up tape here. All right, let's start by putting that thing in. So we got to go into this end of it. And this does not need anything on the threads because we're really not trying to seal anything here. Let's see. You guys can see that. The nice thing is that using these paints on here doesn't really mess up the threads. So theoretically, this should screw right back in there. Theoretically, there we go. Okay. Yeah, my lighting situation needs some work here. Let's see. There we go. Ha! Said fun deal here. Need a wrench to tighten it down. Well, I just happen to have this kind of cool old antique wrench that I found sitting here. Check that out. Threw that in my acid bath and it cleaned right up, and I kind of haven't done anything else with it. But this thing will actually work for what we need to do here. Now I know that I've got paint on these surfaces, so I like to be careful and not try to do something that's going to pull that paint off of there. All right, there we go. And that thing just screws in there until there's a plate, metal plate on the end of it, and it just bottoms out back in here and seals the gas fumes from coming out the tube. And then this little piece is designed to slide in and out of there. So that's how that goes. Now we need to find, let's start over with this one. Put our asbestos gasket back in there. And remember these screws, we had long one, or mostly short ones and one long one. So as I'm looking at it there, this is the odd guy out. And we'll just put these back into, try to find the holes in there. Oh, there we go, there's one. Somewhere in there is the other one. Is that it? Wow. Not where it looked like it would be. All right, we got those started. Let's run them down in there. As I'm doing that, I just like to use my hands to keep things centered here, and that kind of holds that gasket in place and holds the burner lined up. And we'll just snug those down good. They don't need to be super tight, and I don't want to break the screws or bend the burner cover there. All right, now ready for our next one. Back in the same deal. Now we got to put this on the bottom. I think it went like that. So I got that in range. Yeah, you guys can see that. All right, so first let's take our shorter screw and try to get it lined up in here and get it started. If I can find the hole, flying blind. Wasn't quite where I expected it. There we go. All right, so we got that one started. Now we'll get this other one started. And because it's screwing into this thing on the bottom, I want to take this right down. I got my finger underneath where that screw is going to come out, and I want to take that screw down until I feel it coming out the bottom. And that's the point. Right there, I can feel it starting to happen. Now that's the point where I want to put this down there to catch the end of it. So you know what? Let's tighten this down on this side. Get it where we want it. Now, we'll roll that over there where hopefully we can see it. Can you see where that screw's coming out right there? That is what I'm trying to get this to start into, right there. There we go. I think he caught it. Yeah. So this is the trick on it. You want this to stay a little bit loose. The way that I had it there, it was too tight. Oh, actually it was in the wrong place. Let's get that like that. So I need it to still be able to move like that. And I think that's going to be about where we need it to be. Yeah, that's going to stay loose. We'll tighten our other one down. There we go. All right. So we have that where it needs to be so that the generator from the tank can come into the hole there. This comes over and holds it down. And we've got our fuel valve to the second burner functioning. So there we have it. That is all ready to go back into the stove. So now I can set that aside and be able to go on to the next step. I got a little bit of paint that came off of my high-tech paint booth over there and stuck to them, but it's coming right off. So good. There we go. It was going to be hidden kind of, so I really didn't care, but anyway, there you have it. One nice shiny new part ready to go back into the stove. And it's new, yeah, right? Like 100+ years old new. Okay. Well, there you go. That's going to be that segment of the video. We'll get on to another part here shortly. I think one of the next things that I'm going to do is try to get this tank cleaned up. Been doing a little research, and I have found out that yes, it was actually nickel plated. And I've never done that before, but I am going to try to replate this thing. But first, I'll get some cleaning up done on it. That'll be the next video. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you on the next segment.